This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
Mahabalipuram is in for a curfew-like situation after a vandalized statue sparks clashes between the PMK and the VCK.
This is the damage that was done in the morning. Apparently, according to the PMK, some local VCK people have come and damaged.
After Ndtv-Hindu dug out the cases of illegal sand trade, a revenue district officer catches 6 lorries red-handed in the act. After the stinking truth of a subhuman hostel in Mylapore was revealed, the Minister for the Backward Classes has still not reacted with a report. It's now the students who are angry over the school fee row, their parents to come out in large demonstration next month. Big Brother Madras University sends out a warning to its hundreds colleges, threatens to strip off courses if teachers are not qualified. It's going to be justice delayed in the Dharmapuri burning case. The accused 3 plead for a mercy and a review petition. And it's a childhood dream come true for the squash ace, ranked 4. Anvisha Reddy gets ready to take on to the Commonwealth
Presenting the
courts.
Commonwealth Games is the biggest thing, and it's a really big honor.
Well, it's headlines now on Ndtv-Hindu right now. It's 8 o'clock. I'm Evelyn Matthew. Let's also take a look at our national stories. The Commonwealth Games or the Commonwealth Shame today, a part of the sealing of a brand new venue for weightlifting caves in. It's now the Chief Minister of Delhi calling the collapse of the foot-over bridge minor. The BJP requests for no more embarrassment with such attitude. And if that wasn't enough, 3 British athletes pull out. A world triple jumper says security is more important than a medal. And the Ayodhya verdict's deferment plea fails to reach the Supreme Court. The Home Minister asks the people to react with caution. Well, trouble has been brewing in the temple town of Mahabalipuram, where PMK workers went on the rampage today after a Pallava statue was found damaged. Tense moments were witnessed when PMK members alleged VCK cadres for the act. The statue was damaged last night, and when the cadres saw it this morning, they came in hordes in discontent. It was only later on in the day that a PMK legislator spoke to the police officials, urging them to bring the vandals to book. Ndtv-Hindu took a walk down one of those popular lanes, one that's usually abuzz with tourists, but today bore a rather desolate look.
I'm standing here in what is commonly referred as the Cafe Street in Mahabalipuram, and if you've ever come to Mahabalipuram, you would know this street housing some of the most famous cafes in town, serving sumptuous seafood. But as you can see, it's almost a state of curfew. Every shop, every cafe in this cafe lane is closed. Their business is closed since morning. This is after the clashes broke out between the VCK and the PMK. Of course, the clashes were there on the main road, but certain elements did kind of trickle in, threaten the shopkeepers to shut shop. When some of them shut shop, it was almost like a domino effect. Everybody else also fell in line and shut shops. As you can see, everything, right from the internet cafes to in fact, everything, internet cafes, even some of the child homes here in this lane are all shut right now. Even the seafood restaurants, you see, even some of the guest houses have shut their main entrances so that no untoward element who could have been left after the clashes, in fact, awaited for a little while, could come and threaten foreign tourists. Now, this place is usually abuzz with foreign tourists and also foreign tourists and, of course, some of the local ones who do come in from Chennai, Pondicherry, across Tamil Nadu. This street is buzzing. The cafes here are buzzing with foreigners. But as you can see, everything being closed, the business is really down today. Almost a curfew-like situation, although officially it's not a curfew. Everybody is just taking a precautionary measure so that no further damage is done to life and property.
Now, October the 8th was a date that was supposed to spell justice to 3 families in Tamil Nadu, a day when justice was to come a-calling after 10 long years. But now it looks only far from it. A court in Salem had sent orders to the Vellore prison to execute 3 accused in the Dharmapuri students burning case on the 8th of October after the Supreme Court upheld their death penalty. But now the hanging of these 3 AIADMK party men in the Dharmapuri incident may not take place on that date. The 3 of them are in the process of submitting mercy petitions. Besides this, these 3 accused are also filing a review petition in the Supreme Court seeking review of the Apex Court's decision of handing over death penalty to them. Once the mercy petitions are given either to the Tamil Nadu governor or to the president, hanging of these 3 AIADMK members will be delayed indefinitely. The father of one of those victims of that horrific incident spoke to us on the day the verdict came out and said that these 3 men should not be let out on humanitarian grounds as they had committed such a barbaric crime, taking 3 innocent lives.
மனித உரிமை களவுங்கிறது பாதிக்கப்பட்டவனுக்கு பாதுகாப்பாக இருக்கணும் ஒழிய அராஜகம் பண்ணனுக்கு எப்படி பாதுகாப்பாக இருக்க முடியும்? என்ன மனித சொல்றீங்க? மனித உரிமை களவுங்கறீங்க? அது மனித உரிமை களமா? அப்படி இருந்தா அது மனித உரிமை களமா அல்ல.
And joining me this evening for a discussion on this issue is Professor Raj Vasantan, human rights activist and a professor with the Indian Institute of Human Rights in New Delhi and the Tamil Nadu region, who joins us from our studios. Also joining us all the way from Mylapore is V.V. Giridhar, an advocate. Thanks so much indeed, sir, for joining us as well. First to you, sir, I want to ask you, the chances seem to be too many for offenders. Do you believe that our system is once again, being a system one that is for the offenders and maybe not for the victims?
See, what the father of this Gokilavani, one of the victim, has rightly told, the accused will have never the human rights. The accused doesn't have the rights, and the accused should be hanged. There's no other opinion. Whatever the date is prescribed at 8th of October, if there is any delay, it's only through process of law. In the process of law, the mercy petition is one of the stage. When the president, the president of India, if disposes this case, then definitely they'll be hanged on 8th of October. So let us wait for the decision of the president of India. If there is a clemency petition pending with the president, the preparations are going on for filing the case. I don't think that it has been done so far.
Right. Mr. Giridhar, I want to come to you at this point. This is in fact a case when one of the victim's father really turned to be an activist of sorts. But do you believe there could be a closure to this case at all, to the families of these victims?
Certainly, because there are certain cases which requires capital punishment, and it all depends on the gravity of the offence committed by the offender. Therefore, certainly it will be a closing chapter, because any punishment that should be deterrent in nature. Therefore, certainly capital punishment is really required.
But do you believe that a petition like this one, clemency, was rather expected? Do you think October 8th was just maybe a formality?
Yes, certainly it will be a formality, date fix. It is the duty of the court to fix the date for capital punishment, and every person who had suffered a capital punishment, he has got right to appeal to the president for giving pardon. Therefore, I don't think so 8th of October there will be a punishment, because as you know, there are several cases of these petitions are still pending before the president, and still the cases of the year 2005 are still pending. Therefore, I don't think so 8th would be the date for capital punishment for these people.
Right. I want to bring you in, Professor Raj, about the whole idea of death penalty itself, like how Mr. Giridhar just brought that up. What is your view of death penalty by itself for an offender? Do you think there can be time for him to maybe, come to terms with the whole thing and get better, or is that the final judgment by a court?
The discussion of whether to abolish the capital punishment or not, it's going on for a long time.
Right.
But capital punishment is required because the crimes rate are very high, and almost all the accused, they are acquitted. Very rarely, only 2% of the victims are they are getting the conviction.
Right.
Then what happened? Then the fear of law, and that it's not there with the offenders.
Right.
And it needs, for these crimes like this, I mean, torching the bus and innocent girls being burnt alive in the bus, should be taken very seriously.
Right.
And the whole, I mean, feeling of this, its citizens should be, I mean, should be there in the throughout that country, and it should be known to the president, and the president should favorably
Right.
pass orders for the, I mean, hanging of this.
All right, it's obviously a very difficult time for the families as well at this point. Let's just listen in to what the victim's father, who joins us live from Salem, has to say. Sir, what is your view on this recent development in this case, the option for clemency that these accused have really appealed for?
இது பட்டம்பகலில் 11 மணிக்கு பட்டம்பகலில் நடந்த சம்பவம், உலக அறிஞ்ச விஷயம். நான் புதுசாக ஒன்று சொல்ல வேண்டியது என்ன இருக்குது, 3 கோர்ட்லேயும் தூக்கு தண்டனைன்னு உறுதியாகிட்டுது. உறுதியான பிற்பாடு ஜனாதிபதி கருணமணி மூட்டில் என்ன தூக்கு போகிறார், அவரும் தூக்கு தண்டனை உறுதி தான் பண்ண போகிறாரு. இதில் என்ன சந்தேகம் இருக்குதுன்னு எனக்கு ஒன்றும் புரிய மாட்டேங்குது. ஆனால் எங்கே போனாலும் இது மாதிரி காட்டு மிராண்டி மாடுங்களுக்கு இவங்களுக்கு நம்ம பிள்ளைங்களுக்கு என்ன சம்பந்தம் இல்லாமல் பட்டம் பகலில் கொளுத்துறன் தாயால் இவனுக்கெல்லாம் என்ன போய் பாவம் மன்னிப்பில் தேவைப்படுது. அதெல்லாம் ஜனாதிபதியில் மனம் லேட் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்காங்க. லேட் பண்ணக்கூடாது, சீக்கிரம் தூக்கு தண்டனை உறுதி பண்ணணும்.
Well, obviously a very emotional father there. You really can't say anything to that, perhaps.
No, what
he's really saying that human rights activists are maybe responsible.
No, he is telling the point very correctly. What is the connection with the 3 children, girl students who have been killed? What is the locus standi? What is that, I mean, the issue? Why they should be held, targeted for an issue which they are not the party.
Absolutely.
And there is no, I mean, nobody can pardon this crime. So hopefully the president will clear this order, and they will be hanged on 8th of October. That should be an example for the whole world, that there is this type of cases will be dealt very seriously.
All right. What do you think would be the public view and maybe the expectations of this case?
The public view is definitely against this, I mean, crime, the people who did the crime, and everybody is 100% feel that they should be hanged. And this is the precedent. This should be the precedent for all the offenders and who damage the public properties and lives of other people when there is no reason for doing that. This should be an example for the future for anybody to react hereafter for any cases like this.
Right. All right. I think we'll have to wrap it at that. But thanks very much, Professor Raj and Mr. Giridhar, for joining us this evening on this discussion. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thanks very much indeed. Well, there's plenty more news from the city and from the state coming up on the other side. Do stay with us.